And they said that if Indian Army
के बोलो तुम जज्बा अंगार है तैयार है ललकार के बोलो तुम चल जोश दिखाते तू और बाजा बजा दे तू मैदान सजा दे तू ये खेल दीवानों का चल जोश दिखाते तू और बाजा बजा दे तू मैदान सजा दे तू ये खेल दीवानों का चल जोश दिखा दे तू और बाजा बजा दे तू मैदान सजा दे तू ये खेल दीवानों का.
Hello everyone and welcome to PSL Reviews. My name is Ali Yunus and today on the show we'll be discussing match number 19th and 20th of Pakistan Super League in Dubai. In the first match, Multan Sultan took on Peshawar Zalmi. They scored 172 runs for the loss of 5 wickets. They must be happy at that moment, but they were not supported by the fielding and bowling from the other side. And on the other hand, Imamul Haq and Imamul Haq played a really solid inning, and at the end of the day, Karen Pollard played that blistering knock to see Peshawar Zalmi home. I have with me Mr. Ali Mehdi, the cricket expert, with me to talk about this. Ali, what do you make of the match that was played today? I mean, Multan Sultan scored 172. They must be happy at that moment once they scored 172 at that wicket.
Well, I actually thought that Multan Sultans missed out a great opportunity here. I thought they should have gotten much more. After the start they got, I mean, they were like about 120 in 14 overs. They should have probably kicked on and made about 180, 190, which have been more competitive. We know how much firepower Peshawar Zalmi have in their ranks. I mean, amongst all their batsmen too. I mean, so many power hitters over there. So I think this is a missed opportunity for Multan Sultans, considering that they are bottom of the table.
Absolutely, and the win was much needed for them at this time of the table.
Yeah, it's very important. You know, this is the period. Now we are into halfway stage of the second phase of the group stage, and this is the time when you really need to kick on. This is the time when you actually find momentum too. So it was very important for Multan Sultans to actually sort of not drift away from the tournament, to make sure that they can get into that top 4 and possibly qualify for the knockout rounds. But you know, unfortunately, that target was very low, which Peshawar Zalmi chased with ease.
Yeah, okay. Let's start off with the match. Let's start off the changes that were made today in the team. Multan Sultan, I mean, the changes. Are you happy with the changes they made?
Yeah, I think they did okay. I think that the changes were completely fine. You know, it was finely tuned with the team they put out today. But I just felt that there was not much bad. I mean, I just feel that, you know, the batsmen didn't really complement each other, and the bowlers were slightly a bit off. I mean, they actually really never put Peshawar Zalmi under the pump. Peshawar Zalmi had great momentum. They came out flying. I mean, Imam did very well. Jonathan Charles did very well. I mean, Pollard did very well too. And also at the end, you know, they got off Umar Amin. I mean, the boy from Islamabad, he did exceptionally well with that 52.
Yeah, we'll talk about him late in the show. So let's start off with Multan Sultan's batting. Like they were 130 something in 12-13 overs, and they lost their win at the end. I think they're missing out on the power hitters in the late middle order.
And look, they've got power hitters. They've got Shahid Afridi over there. Shoaib Malik, we know how devastating he is down the order. But the problem is the experienced campaigners, they're not clicking with each other. I mean, Shoaib Malik plays that anchor role, but Shahid Afridi, when they need him the most, he hasn't really kicked on. We know how much blistering power he has. I mean, how much he can, you know, he can completely change the tone of the match. But I mean, you know, at the end, he really didn't do much. I mean, the last over, they didn't result in anything. And had they gotten 190, probably it would have been a very formidable target for the Peshawar Zalmi.
Right, Ali. We have a very special guest, Abdul Ghaffar from Peshawar Zalmi. He's media manager of Peshawar Zalmi, live with us. Hello, Ghaffar.
Hello, sir. How are you? Thank you.
I'm very well. How are you? How's the morale after today's win?
Absolutely great, because as you know that Peshawar Zalmi was in search of win tonight, because the 4 wins actually really ease the pressure of any team right now at the top of the table, and we are glad that we are now number 1 in the points table. But one good news which the Peshawar Zalmi channel always tweeted, I want to share with you that Peshawar Zalmi whole squad will be traveled to Pakistan like PSL2, like PSL3. So I think this is the best news added to the victory of Peshawar Zalmi, that after PCB announced that PSL matches will be held in Pakistan as per plan. And added to this, we say that at cherry on top, the Peshawar Zalmi whole squad, the all foreign players will be traveling to Pakistan and as the excitement of the fans at their own price. Yes.
Absolutely. And what do you make of the team, the combination that Peshawar Zalmi has now made? I mean, are you happy with the top order batting that is going on now?
I think we must understand the franchise cricket. I think credit goes to the director cricket, the head coach of Peshawar Zalmi, Mohammad Akram, for two reasons. When they start the selection and the draft system in the PSL1, they actually draft a very good side from the PSL1. And this momentum actually carries to PSL2, PSL3, and now in PSL4. If you see that the Peshawar Zalmi main player are almost the same from the PSL1. This is the thing which you need to do in a franchise cricket, that you can't just keep people in and out from the team and looking for a good combination. The key of Peshawar Zalmi success, which I witnessed in the last 2 years, with them from the PSL3, that they have a very settled team. They know what they have, the players they have, like Samin goes, Iftisam Sheikh, they take from the PSL3, they carry on them with the PSL4. So whenever they require the services of a junior player, they know that they have the players which actually groomed by them themselves. Same Hassan Ali, you know that big boy Peshawar Zalmi in the emerging category of the PSL1. And now coming back to your point about the current setup, obviously the team now in the top position, but still I think they yet to play the level of cricket we had expected from them, because few of our players are not at their best at the moment right now. But we are sincerely hope that the tournament progressing, that where like Kamal Akmal, who is the best PSL batsman in the history, but he is yet to find a tournament. So we're actually very optimistic about him, that in current matches, because you know that it's a playoff, even we are thinking ahead if we need it and we qualify in the final. So he is a big match player. So at the moment, we are very happy. We are very satisfied with the performance of the side, and above all, very, very excited that the PSL match is now confirming and hosting in Pakistan. So very looking forward to come and play in front of our crowd.
And right now we are very excited about this news that all your team would be traveling to Pakistan and playing all their matches. I mean, Darren Semi is almost as a half Pakistani now. What do you say?
He is not half Pakistani. If you ask Darren, I think directly he will tell you that he is full Pakistani now almost, right. Because the way he owns Peshawar, the way he owns Zalmi, the way he owns Pakistan. Let me tell you a very small thing which I just recently witnessed myself. When he came to Islamabad and was about to reach Peshawar near Tool Plaza, when the people were gathered to welcome him. So he actually requesting the people, the security, the management, can you please stop a vehicle for a few seconds? I want to wave my hand to these guys. And not only he waved the hand to the guys, the residents of, I think, the area called maybe Sawabi, I think the area from where the Tool Plaza is actually connecting Peshawar. He actually came down from the vehicle, take pictures with the crowds. And this is the thing, I think, connect brands, connect teams, connect people. And the way Peshawar Zalmi and Peshawar Zalmi captain is actually loving the people of Pakistan and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and they are actually responding in the same way, and they own Zalmi, they own Semi, they own Peshawar.
Absolutely. I think that is the key of their success also. Thank you so much, Abdul Ghaffar, for being on the call with us. Right, as you heard the good news from Abdul Ghaffar that all the team of Peshawar Zalmi, including the overseas player, they would be travelling to Pakistan for all their matches. This must be a very encouraging sign for Peshawar Zalmi.
I mean, this is brilliant. This is why I keep on saying that Peshawar Zalmi are role models and great ambassadors for the PSL. We've seen this for the past 3 years now, third consecutive year, that the entire Peshawar team squad is going to be coming to Pakistan. It just shows that, you know, the commitment, how much this team bonds well with each other, and the fact that Pakistan is a safe place to play cricket. I mean, I think other teams in particular should learn from them, because this is the reason why Peshawar Zalmi has done very well in the past 2 years. 2017 being champions, 2018 making the final. When there's camaraderie within the team, when you have the international players gelling well with each other, when they enjoy the atmosphere in Pakistan, they thrive upon it. That's why they're champions. They're former champions, and that's why I think they're going to go very far.
Absolutely, and I think that is the key of the key to the success, the Darren Semi's leadership. I mean, the way that he owns the team, the way he mingles around in the country, that he's not afraid. I mean, he was out on the motorway taking pictures with the public. I mean, that's so encouraging for the team.
No, he really takes it to heart. He loves Pakistan. I mean, he's mixed very well with the team with the crowd over here, with local Pakistanis. He loves this atmosphere. Then he, at the same same time, it's mutual. Even in Pakistan, the crowd loves him. Everybody loves him. I mean, even in the final, when you saw last year, when you saw that the Peshawar Zalmi made the final, every majority of the Karachi's crowd was actually supporting Peshawar Zalmi, and there's a reason for that. That's because the entire international team came here, because of the fact that he's very much loved. Not even him, it's in the entire international, all the international foreign players too. So I mean, this is great news for not only great news for the PSL, but great news for cricket.
Right. Okay, right. If you can call us live on the numbers given below at the bottom of the screen. We'll be waiting for your call. If you have any questions to me, to Ali, we'll be happy to answer those. So coming back to the match, Ali, to the first match today, Peshawar Zalmi. I think Multan Sultan would be very unlucky not to have won this match today.
Well, it's Multan Sultans. It's their own undoing. It's, you know, they themselves shot themselves in the foot. I mean, they were going at such a good rate. They were going at such a steady rate. They had gotten off to a great start, had a great platform, but really didn't kick on over there. You know, when they needed their power hitters, when they needed the likes of Shoaib Malik, they needed the likes of Shahid Afridi to kick on. They didn't do that, and that's why they stuttered. And you know, up to 170. I myself was shocked when they actually finished at 170.
They were on the course to 200. The way the openers were batting, and even the Jonathan Charles, the way he played like at number 3.
Yeah, I thought Jonathan Charles played a spectacular innings today. He laid out the platform. It's the experienced campaigner, the experienced Pakistanis who didn't kick on. I mean, Shahid Afridi, you expected more from him. Shoaib Malik, I mean, getting 2 players run out too. I mean,
yeah. I was coming to that point. What's up with this Shoaib Malik and run outs? Either he's getting himself run out or getting the other person run out. What is he thinking at that time?
I think there's no communication between him and his fellow players too. I mean, Shoaib Malik, he's always wanting to take singles, but you know, you have to have your head on your shoulders. You have to have this communication. You have to have you need to be seeing your partner at the same time too. It's not, you can't take a single out of every ball, and you have to make sure you have good communication links. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case today. And you know, had he probably communicated better, probably they could have added about 10-15 runs extra.
Maybe more than that, because James Vince is a tremendous form.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, coming to the Peshawar Zalmi's bowling. Today when I was looking at watching the match, the thing that worried me was if the ball is not reversing, and if and it's with the bowlers they have, the kind of pace they have, they all are the same dimensional bowlers. I mean, look at Wahab Riaz, look at Hassan Ali, look at the tall guy. They all bowl fast. They don't have much variation. Okay, fine. Hassan Ali is learning a bit now with the new ball, but once the ball does not reverse swing, they're all up for the runs.
Yeah, they're all up for the runs, and you could see that all of them are very similar to each other too. I mean, Hassan Ali didn't have his best today. He conceded more than 10 runs and conceded more than 40 runs. I mean,
because it was a good batting wicket and it was flat.
It was flat, and that's when, you know, when your true metal is tested. That's when your skill set is tested. That's when you need to bowl the off cutters, when you need to bowl with varying pace. But you know, Hassan Ali's was sort of taken to the cleaners today. But still, I thought that they did okay at the end. They did very well to restrict the Multan Sultans to 170.
Yeah, they all are good death bowlers.
They're all very good death bowlers. But I thought that at the end, I mean, they mustn't have gotten off to a great start. But the fact that they actually restricted them to 170, they deserve a lot of credit for that.
Right. And what do you make of Shahid Afridi now? I mean, he's not bowling. He's not. I think he's not fit for the cricket, but he's still playing, not performing with the bat. Today was a couple of hits were pretty much needed today.
Well, I hate to say this, but I think he's a sort of passenger in the team, and I know I'm being very critical by saying that, but I mean, he's not really contributing much with either the bat or the ball. I mean, in the past we've seen that when he goes through a lean patch in his batting, it's actually his bowling which has saved him. It's the wickets, he's a partnership breaker. He gets important wickets too, but he's really not doing any of the two. Right. So if he's not doing any of the two, you might as well give a chance to a youngster.
Right. We have our first caller from Dubai. We have Mr. Azim with us. Hello, Azim.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
So what question do you have
for us? Thank you. Okay, I just want to ask Ali Mehdi Bhai about team selection Lahore basically. So Yasir Shah is still playing. They're putting, I don't know what's the RKB strategy and overall team and what they're thinking about Yasir Shah when he's not performing at all in any game and Hassan Khan is on the bench. So I just want to ask about team selection of Lahore calendar.
All right, I will just
when
question to Ali. Okay, the question asked is about the selection process of Lahore Qalandars. He's not that fond of playing Yasir Shah in T20. They already have Lamat Chane playing, and he's against playing another leg spinner in the side.
No, I completely agree with the caller. I completely agree with Azim. I just don't know. It doesn't make sense playing two leg spinners, especially in T20 cricket. Look, I know they're very different from each other. Lamat Chane has got much more variation. Yasir Shah is a bit of a test bowler, but you can't play two leg spinners in a game. You need to have variety. You need to have probably a left-handed Chinaman, or you need to have somebody a bit of an on-off spinner too. It just doesn't make sense, because when you're bowling with two leg spinners, it gives the batsman the opportunity to target leg spinners. I mean, if you have a mystery leg spinner and you have a conventional leg spinner, it just doesn't make sense, because those sort of slow-paced bowlers can actually be targeted upon, and that's exactly what.
Okay, I will differ with you a little bit, because leg spinners have always been an attacking option. Taking wickets has always been the key for cricket, even if it's T20 cricket. But the problem with Yasir Shah is he's bowling a little fast and flat. He should learn from Lamat Chane how to bowl in T20 cricket, and probably he can be a better asset for Pakistan in future.
No, I completely agree with you over there, and it's just that T20 is not his favorite forte. He loves red ball cricket, and that's why he's a very deadly bowler too. And the thing with him is he's a very, very patient bowler. He actually needs time to settle in, whereas Lamat Chane is very attacking. He has so much variety. He's somebody I've been seeing for many years. I remember seeing him in the T20 World Cup in 2016, where he really burst onto the scene, and ever since then he's gone from strength to strength. He's playing in 6 leagues right now. He was the man of the match in the previous match, where he actually blew apart the
What makes him so special, Lamat Chane, if I ask you?
It's his wrong on. I mean, it's his variety. He's got an amazing wrong on. He's very difficult to read. He's very difficult to attack upon. The problem is when the batsmen attack him, they actually throw their wicket away, and at the same time he gives the batsmen give themselves wicket away, and then he also gets the batsman of good deliveries too. He's very difficult to read over there. So I mean, it comes as no surprise that Lamat Chane is definitely the first person on that team sheet nowadays. But Yasir Shah, I actually feel that you're probably sacrificing another player's position in his place.
Right. Okay, let's get back to the match that was played, Peshawar Zalmi and Multan's. Peshawar Zalmi's batting, I mean, 172 to chase. They had Imam ul Haq open the inning. He played a solid inning, I would say.
I think Imam ul Haq is proving, as always, he's proving his critics completely wrong. He's always slated upon the fact that he's probably not the right person to play T20 cricket. He's probably more 50 over a longer format, but he's been brilliant till now. He actually gives, what he does is that along with Fletcher, I mean, he's just brilliant up top. He plays that anchor role. He actually gets you runs off the board. If you see in every single match, he's actually contributed one way or the other. He hasn't had a single digit score till now. So he looked very solid. He made some very important runs. He lays down the platform, for the power hitters to come and get important runs.
Absolutely. And he also showed that with conventional shots, you can still play vital role for the team.
And the best thing about him is he actually targets the bad balls too. I mean, in conventional, when you play conventional shots, what you do is that you leave the bad balls, you actually take singles off it, you knock it around, but when you get the bad ball, you just smack it for a boundary. So I think he has a very wise head on his shoulders, and till now his plan has worked extremely well.
Absolutely. And the pressure that he has he has on himself of the tag of the nephew of being the selector, so that must be on his head always.
It's always on his head. His head is always on the chopping block.
And it's good to see that young man, and proving everyone wrong and performing.
No, I think he's been the best spark in Pakistani cricket. The way he's actually proved his critics wrong. I mean, this is one player who's criticized day in and day out, and the way he's actually performed extremely well. Let's not forget he's had a very successful South African tour where he was man of the series, and he's carried that form into the PSL T20 2019, and he's done a fabulous job, and what he's done is actually cemented his place in that opening slot.
Right. Let's look at the top performers of today's first match. Yeah, Johnson Charles, I think 57 runs, 31 balls, 8 fours and a 1 huge 6. I think Multan Sultan has just missed the trick of not playing in a couple of key matches in between.
Yeah, they should have played him before. It just didn't make sense why they didn't start him off. Probably if he played the first few matches, he could have gotten some wins.
And what do you make of Karen Pollard, the big man? I mean, he's come to the party at the right time, I guess, for Peshawar.
Well, he's a T20 specialist. Yeah. He's been doing it for about 10 years now. I mean, whenever you need somebody to come to the party, it's Karen Pollard, and with his big 6. sixes
and
too.
52 runs today of 27 balls, 1 4, and look at 5 huge sixes. I mean, he likes playing against Multan Sultan's bowling.
Yeah, he has a long handle. He loves targeting the stands, and every time he comes out to the crease, you know that you can expect. He's the sort of player who can either get you some quick runs or he'll get out quickly. So whenever he actually contributes to the bat, there's a very good chance that that team is actually going to win the match.
In the last match, he was forceful on Mohammad Irfan, and today Junaid Khan. I mean, he likes playing against, and they're not easy bowlers.
They are not easy bowlers too, and he But the thing with him is that once he gets stuck into you, it looks like he's very fond of playing against the Multan Sultan bowlers too. I mean, Wahab Riaz, he hit him for 4 consecutive sixes. Today he got stuck into Junaid Khan. So he's the sort of batsman who, if he can get it stuck into you, he can hit you for a couple of big blows.
Absolutely. Okay, coming back to the match, what do you make of Kamran Akmal? I mean, Peshawar Zalmi have heavily relied on him from past a couple of PSLs. He looks totally out of the form. I mean, footwork is not working. He's playing away from the body, and looks like he's lost all the confidence in batting.
Well, he was the main reason they actually made the final. He was their top scorer last year. I mean, and he was the one who actually won them that game last year. It's just that this year I think he's completely out of form. He's going through a very lull period, right? And the reason is I think the pitches have been slightly tricky for him. He's just not getting his thing going. I mean, since match 1, he's looked uncomfortable. He isn't getting his timing right. He's not middling the ball very well. He's getting found out by the bowlers too. So it's a very sticky period for him. They played it at number 3 today. He got out for a duck. So it's going to be interesting to see where they actually adjust him or whether they're going to drop him.
I think the best place for him is to play as an opener, because he likes the ball coming onto the bat, and where he can, because he's very good with the cut and pull shot. So he likes the ball with a little bit of bounce and coming to the ball.
Yeah, I think it's. But the thing with him is that he needs flat pitches. If the pitches are flat, that's when you see a very aggressive Kamran Akmal, especially with his cut shots, his drives, and him coming down and actually taking apart the bowlers. But the fact of the matter is, with Imam now batting up top, and I believe Fletcher is also with him too. It's going to be very difficult to see where you can fit him in, especially in the top 2 positions, because the 2 openers have actually settled very, very well over there. And Kamran Akmal is naturally is the sort of player who likes batting up top. So it's going to be interesting where they actually fit him. But if I was probably Peshawar Zalmi, I'd actually bring him down the order, because if he's not playing well up top, maybe he can come as a pitch hit and hit some lusty blows at the bottom.
Right, that was my next question. Okay, what do you make of Darren Sammy? I mean, fine, he's an excellent leader. He's there with us. He's helped us bring back the cricket to Pakistan. But do you really think he has that slot? He deserves that slot to be in the team, because he's half fit. He's not bowling, and he's probably playing for those 3 to 4 balls that he plays in the end. Is he justifying his place as a cricketer, not as a captain, as a cricketer in the team?
No, most definitely. And the reason he's the maverick sort of player. I mean, look at his captaincy. I know you mentioned to me that not to talk about his captaincy.
Yeah, just as a cricketer.
But as a cricketer, I think he's so important. Why he's not bowling, but he's an excellent fielder. Not as an excellent fielder, but coming as a power hit at the bottom. Every time when Peshawar Zalmi needs some quick runs, when they need a player to actually help Zalmi get those extra 20-30 runs, you see him hitting the ball very well, hitting unorthodox shot, hitting some lusty blows, getting you quick runs. Whenever you need him, they're actually chasing a big score or chasing a total, and they don't have many balls. You obviously Darren Sammy performs. So I do think that whilst he's not contributing completely with the ball, if he's required with the bat, he's exceptionally important, because he gets you those quick runs. Or when Peshawar Zalmi are batting first, he actually gets them to a very competitive total.
Right, I agree with that. On that, okay, let's come to Umar Amin a bit. Let's talk about him. The local Islamabadi boy. Yeah. I mean, it's so sad that he's so talented. He has all the shots. He plays cut well. He drives well. He pulls well. Why is it that he plays so well in the domestic cricket, but what happens to him when he goes to the international cricket? Is that the pressure that he cannot take it?
I think it's more or less confidence. But look, I know Umar Amin personally. I've actually trained with him. I know he's he's very fitness holic. He works very hard on his fitness. He actually works very, very hard on his game. But I've seen him more recently, I mean, especially in this T20 tournament, and he's looked extremely confident. He's looked as this, he's been playing the ball very well. He's got all the shots in the book too. He's more of a confident sort of a player, and I feel that once if he does get another shot at the national team or playing for Pakistan again, I think he'll grab it with two hands, because he was very immature at the beginning. He didn't grab his opportunities. Now that he's changed his game, he's timing the ball very well. The ball is coming naturally onto the bat. I feel that if he's given an opportunity, he will do very well.
Right, absolutely. I wish that too. That the role he plays for Peshawar Zalmi, he could play for Pakistan even. Let's get to the second match that is being played between the two arch rivals, the blockbuster they call it. Karachi Kings playing against Lahore Qalandars. I think Lahore Qalandars gave them a target of 134 runs. And look at here, you can see the live score at the moment. 130. They just need 2 runs, Karachi Kings, to win this match. I think this was pretty much needed for Karachi.
Yeah, they very much needed this, because they are another team, Ali, which actually would have drifted away from the top 4. So now that they're going to win this, they're going to be on 6 points too. So it was very much well required, and it might be another opportunity, good opportunity for Karachi to get into the knockout rounds.
Yeah, there we see, I think the winning runs being played, and yes, that Mickey Arthur and Wasim Bhai must be a relieved man. You see the expression says it all. David Beezer must be disappointed. And yes, Imad Wasim, he did well today. I think they were very... Right, okay, let's get to this match now. 133 made by Lahore Qalandars. It was not that bad of a total looking at the wicket. It was keeping low today.
It was keeping low today, but I still think that 133 on any pitch is a lackluster total. I mean, it was a difficult wicket. The ball stayed low. AB de Villiers had problems timing the ball. The other players also had time. David Beezer also. But I just feel that 130 is too low. I mean, on these Dubai tracks where the ball, okay, if it stays low, it does come onto the bat. You just need to time the ball well. 130 was a very lackluster total, and they at least should have gotten 150.
Absolutely. And today I believe the Karachi did their homework well. They were very good with the planning. They were bowling well. They were not bowling to the strengths. Earlier we've seen the bowling was all over the place, but today they made good changes. What do you make of those changes today?
I think those changes were very much needed, and after the defeat they suffered against Lahore in the previous fixture, they wanted to make sure they don't make that mistake again, and I thought they wanted to make sure, because there's a lot of needle in this match between Lahore and Karachi.
Yeah, always.
There always is, and after the last match, it was Lahore, after a long time they had beaten the arch rivals Karachi. So it was one for Karachi to prove to actually get one over the local rivals too. But I thought Karachi got it completely right. Livingston batting over there, and another important thing, bringing Sohail Akhtar down the order. We've seen him open.
Yes, I was coming to that.
I think bringing Sohail Akhtar, he's the one who got you 28 runs right now, very quick runs, because they were in a bit of a pickle actually at 99 for 5. But those important runs which Sohail Akhtar got, those actually which tilted the pendulum back to Karachi Kings' favour. So I think that it was very good that this sort of adjustment is needed in T20 cricket. If your openers, if your top order batsmen are not playing well, you should bring them down the order. We saw that, like you were just mentioning, Kamran Akmal for Peshawar Zalmi. That's why I think he should come down the order so you can get the best out of him. Sohail Akhtar proved to be the winning factor, getting those 28 runs. So it's important that if a talented player is not performing well, change his order, bring him either up the order or bring him down so he can get you some.
Yeah, give him some comfortable position to bat on where he can be himself and and explore himself. So 133 they made one change. Lahore Qalandars they brought in Izaz Cheema, the top performer from domestic. I'm so happy that he's got the game.
No, I think Izaz Cheema is an exceptionally talented. He's a very skiddy bowler, especially on these low wickets. Looking at the conditions, actually, that's why I think they chose him, because he's very good on these low wickets where the ball stays extremely low, where the ball skids to. And on any other day, he probably could have actually jolted the Karachi Kings, but it's just that the batsmen actually played him very well today.
Yeah, because they didn't have any pressure of 133, so they were playing him out. And the Yorkers were working today.
I mean, Izaz Cheema is an exceptional player when it comes to bowling those deadly Yorkers. But look, he's playing T20 cricket. He's playing in this format after a very long time too. He probably should have gotten a few games before he came into this match. But I felt that the Karachi Kings players, they stuck to their plans. They made sure that they restricted the Lahore Qalandars in chase, not make much of a mess of the chase. We saw in the last match that against Lahore Qalandars, they made about 136, 137, and they made a mess of that. I think that there was much more composure, much more patience, and that's what aided Karachi Kings to actually win this match.
Absolutely. And what do you make of resting Shaheen Shah? I mean, it was so important to rest him for a few games because there are World Cup coming up, and he's such a key member for Pakistan team.
I think it was the best decision, the Lahore Qalandars, and I actually salute them for doing that. We've seen what happened to Mohammad Hafiz. He's in serious doubt of playing the World Cup. So I think it was an exceptional move by them. They need to give him a rest. He's played so much cricket over the past 3-4 months that it didn't make sense for him. Now that they get into the last few, the climax of the group stage, they can probably bring him when he's actually fresh, and he can actually bowl his heart out and help Lahore Qalandars qualify for the knockout rounds for the first time in PSL history.
Absolutely. Coming after the rest, he'll be fresh and bowling with all this energy that he has preserved.
Yeah, you'll see that he'll have an extra spring in his step. He'll probably he'll probably give it his best, and at the same time they'll get the best out of him. They'll get the best out of him because these are the last 2-3 matches are the most important. They can be they could actually be, it's a fine line between success and failure, and it's the last matches. If you can win your last 2-3 matches, that actually helps you not only get into the knockout rounds, but that sort of momentum can actually help you win the tournament. We've seen with Islamabad United in 2016 and 2018 that these last few matches, if you bring out your best team, best combination, they can actually power you to the title.
Absolutely, and the table looks like the same, that these coming few matches would be very crucial for every team.
Yeah, every team. It's amazing, Ali. Last week we were talking so highly about Quetta Gladiators, how they were flying high. They have two losses, and now they're third or fourth on the table too. So it's amazing how in T20 cricket, how amazing this league is. That even after a few defeats, what happens is that the table just completely changes. You have Islamabad United doing exceptionally well. Peshawar Zalmi is on top, and now Karachi Kings is into the mix too. So it's anybody's tournament right now, and any of those 6 teams can actually qualify.
With that, let's have a look at the points table where they stand at the moment. Like Peshawar Zalmi, I'm not surprised being on the top. Islamabad United with 7 matches, 4 wins, and the second with the same 8 points. Quetta Gladiators having played 6 games, won 4 out of that, and lost 2 crucial games. We'll talk about this in a bit, having 8 points. Lahore Qalandars will be unlucky today that they've lost an opportunity today beating Karachi Kings. Having won 3 matches for 6 points. Karachi Kings would be very happy to be coming back to the table and having that confidence back and still thinking to make to the top 4.
I think Karachi Kings right now after today's win, what it does is that look, this year is so competitive, Ali, that you could see over there that
nobody has dominated.
Yes. We thought Karachi the Gladiators at least have been double digits till we have 10 points, but look, they are number 3 right now. They've actually just 2 matches they've lost, and now they're third on the table. Peshawar Zalmi, Islamabad United doing exceptionally well. Even Karachi Kings are into the mix. They're on 6. They just need 1 or 2 more victories, and they'll be probably in the top 3 too. So it's anybody's tournament right now.
Seems like it's going to be between Karachi Kings and Lahore Qalandars for that fourth spot.
And it's some extra needle over there. Who's going to get that 4th spot? But don't rule out Multan Sultans. Look, they've had a dreadful tournament and now they're bottom of the table. But if they can win their last 3 matches, that will get them to 10 points, and which should help them progress. But at the moment, it looks like it's Peshawar or Zalmi and Islamabad United and Quetta Gladiators who are going to probably fight it off for those top 2 positions for the qualifier 1.
Absolutely. Okay, coming to the match, I would like to talk about Babar Azam a little bit. He's having this trouble with those wrist spinners. This is not the first time that he's gotten out to a leg spinner or a wrist spinner. He doesn't seem to pick that googly up. Being the top international batsman, he is having trouble picking up the googly.
And that's a very worrying sign, because even for as a fans of the Pakistan,
it's a huge weakness
it's a huge weakness, and what the opponents of Pakistan all the other teams going into the World Cup can exploit too, because if he can pick up these wrist spinners, that actually could be a very big problematic thing for him. But it's good that it's been discovered right now, because I'm sure he's going to work very hard on that. We know how well he times the fast bowlers and the bowlers who actually bowl with pace too, but it's just that the the wrist spinners which he needs to work on. I mean, work on his shot selection, his foot movement too, and how he's going to target the bad ball so he can hit for boundaries.
Absolutely. And what do you make of Karachi Kings 11 today? They made the choice we spoke about last time we were together, bringing in Iftikhar Ahmed. You know, that was such a good move, I believe, because he's so handy with the ball today. He showed that he got those crucial two left-handers that brought them into the match basically, and he can be very handy down the order as a batsman.
Yeah, it was mind-boggling, Ali. We were talking about this last week, that why were they not playing Iftikhar Ahmed over there? I mean, he's such a amazing talent over there. He's an exceptional player with the bat. He actually gets you some quick runs and is very, destructful with the bat too. But he also gets you good wickets. He also is very handy with the ball too. So it was crazy why they were not playing. I mean, you see how handy he was in today. So now that he's actually justified his position, now this is a sort of balance which will help Karachi Kings should maybe kick on and probably qualify and play and really stamp their authority for the knockout round.
All right, we have another expert from live from Dubai, Mr. Taranjeet Singh. He is there in Dubai Stadium. Hello Taranjeet, how are you? Hello? Okay, we'll just connect him back. We're coming back to the Karachi Kings side. Ben Dunk was dropped today. I think do you believe that was a right decision, bringing in the youngster from Australia, the Aaron Summers?
Oh, it was interesting. But look, Aaron Summers has had a very, very good Big Bash till now. He's done exceptionally well till now. So, but it was interesting actually choosing Aaron Summers, the bowler, for Dunk, the batsman too. Ben Dunk has actually done very well in the Big Bash. But you need to give your opportunities to your other foreign players too. I mean, you've hired them, you've actually bought them, and you actually paid very much for their contracts too. So Aaron Summers has done very well for the Big Bash too. You know, you needed him to give an opportunity, and I thought he bowled okay today too. So I mean, it was interesting move, but it paid out good dividends because it helped Karachi Kings actually script this good performance.
Yeah, Karachi Kings almost lost it in the halfway when we were watching the match, but then Livingstone living up to the expectations of Karachi.
Yeah, Livingstone is
in amazing form.
He's an amazing form, and he's very consistent too, and he's the sort of player he's that sort of glue which Karachi Kings need. I mean, he's not that sort of player who will play very good innings and then after that will go through a lull period too. He will get you some good runs over there, and I think it was for the overall balance of the team. Whilst Livingstone is there, I think that the foreign players which they're now playing with, it add good value and good balance to this team.
Okay, why I talk about these local cricketers, like I want to talk about Haris Sohail also. Okay, right. Before we talk about that, let's talk to Taranjeet Singh, who's right now in Dubai Cricket Stadium enjoying the match there. Taranjeet, hello. Can you hear me, Taranjeet? Right, I think there's some problem with that. We'll get back to him again. Again, coming back to Karachi, and sorry, I was talking about Haris Sohail's role in Lahore Qalandar today. I mean, he looked so nice today. I mean, he was composed in the previous match, and he's so useful in that batting order.
He's so important. I think he's so.
In fact, playing in place of Salman, but I think he's very handy.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on it on the head, Ali. This is what we were talking about. We've been talking about in the previous shows that why Salman, but it's important probably either to open with Salman, but or actually probably drop him. And Haris Sohail he's actually one of the first players on the Pakistan cricket team too. So playing him adds more balance. He's actually more naturally.
I was surprised that it was not played earlier.
Yeah, it just makes no sense because he's naturally the most gifted and you could say technically sound player for Pakistan. Absolutely. So I mean, playing him for Lahore Qalandars is so important for them, and it adds so much good balance to the team.
Okay, let's now look at the top performers of today's second match. AB de Villiers, no surprises here. He's on a mission. He's playing so sensibly, I would say. What do you think?
I think he did well today, but he was a bit sluggish over there. You know, a strike rate of 100, you'd expect him to hit some more boundaries. But it just shows
he's playing that role of key role of sheet anchor. You know, that who's going to carry through all the 20 overs.
Yeah, he was actually grafting today too, and I think he really wanted to get those. He wanted to stay on the wicket too, but I still think that that he could have accelerated, and on this difficult, a person with his sort of experience and technical expertise, technical abilities, he probably should have got more runs.
Absolutely. Sohail Akhtar, I think this was a good move bringing him at number 6.
Yeah, I think it was important bringing him first at number 6. He's the one who got them all those runs.
It's very important to have somebody like him who can hit sixes in every team at number 6 or 7. And today also coming at number 6 he scored against Iftikhar Ahmed. That was a surprise package. I mean, he bowled 2 overs and gave away only 4 runs for those 2 crucial wickets. That the 2 backbone of the team.
Ali, and this is exactly what you were pointing about last week, that how important he is with the runs and also those wickets.
Yeah, Liam Livingstone, I think he's in the form of his life for PSL.
I think
he's scoring runs in every game. He's 38 runs he scored off 34 balls, 3 4s and 2 6s. Yes, Iftikhar Ahmed, look at that. Look, this is why I was saying he's so important as with the ball and with the bat. Coming at number 5, scoring 33 crucial runs of 25 balls with 2 4s and 2 6s. That shows that he can hit big sixes too. Yes, Sandeep Lamachari, no surprises there. I think the only problem was that he was bowled a little earlier in the innings. He could have waited for him with a couple of overs.
Yeah, they could have waited for him, and we've seen that over the past, that in the last match he completely blew away the Quetta Gladiators top and middle order too. So they could have probably brought him at the right time too. But you have to give a lot of credit to the Karachi Kings team for actually playing him and actually figuring out how to see him off, because had they not played him sensibly, he could have blown them the same way he blew away the Quetta Gladiators team.
Absolutely. Okay, Ali, last question to you. Your top 4 picks.
For the knockout?
For the knockouts, yeah.
Well, if you were to ask me right now, it has to be Islamabad United, Peshawar Zalmi, this Quetta Gladiators, my team for the tournament. I still think that they're favourites actually to win it. And the 4th one is a difficult one. But I'd say at this moment, the way Karachi Kings, the way they played today, I'd actually have to say Karachi Kings at this moment over Lahore Qalandars.
Right. With that, this is all we have today at PSL Reviews. I'll see you tomorrow, same time. Take care till then.
दिखाते तू और बाजा बजा दे तू मैदान सजा दे तू ये खेल दीवानों का